Transmission of COVID-19 occurs primarily between people through direct contact, indirect or close contact with the infected people, through infected secretion such as saliva and respiratory secretions, through their respiratory droplets which are expelled when an infected person coughs, sneezes, talks, or sings. Throats may leave infected droplets on objects and surfaces when they sneeze, cough on, or touch surfaces. Normally, post-discharge COVID-19 patients complains of following symptoms: fatigue, chest pain, loss of taste, loss of appetite, joint pains, breathing difficulty, brain fogging. Physiotherapy management for post-COVID patients.
For those who suffer from shortness of breath or physical activity can be difficult, pursed lip breathing is one of the easiest way to control and regulate the breath when you are active. Pursed lip breathing should be done with a mouth closed and air should be taken through a nose and hold it for 2 seconds. Then exhale it through pursed lip, or we call it in a whistling or kissing position. I'm starting it now. You hold it for 2 seconds, then exhale it. When we are exhaling it, it should be double the inspiration. Diaphragmatic breathing is one of the easiest way to control blood pressure, tension or stress. Diaphragmatic breathing is also known as the belly breathing. During diaphragmatic breathing, we should be in a sitting position and comfortable. Our neck should be relaxed and shoulders should be relaxed. Here, when we are taking an inspiration, we need to place one hand on the chest, another one hand at the abdomen. When we take an inspiration, air should go through our nose and it should pass us to the abdominal. When the air passes to the abdominal should move forward. When this happens, then when there is an exhale, so gently we need to push the hand to the abdominal, thereby the air moves out through our lungs, through our mouth in the form of a pursed lip. Like this, I'm going to demonstrate. We need to take it here through our nose. When we do that, the abdominal moves forward, but the chest remains the same. Then after, gently press the abdominal. So this should be done several times. When we do this diaphragmatic breathing, the chest should be remains the same, only the abdominal movement should be happening. Now let us do costal breathing technique. This technique is also known as a shallow breathing technique. During inhalation, intercostal muscles will get contract, thereby air will be flow from the nose to the lungs with the expansion of thoracic cavity. During exhalation, passively air will be moved out from the lungs through a mouth. During inspiration, normally 2 to 3 seconds will takes place. During expiration, it takes about 3 to 5 seconds. here clearly indicates expiration is much longer than the inspiration.
Incentive spirometry exercise. Sit upright in a chair or in bed. Put the mouthpiece in your mouth and close your lips tightly around it. Breathe in slowly through your mouth as deeply as you can. Try to get the piston as high as you can while keeping the indicator between the arrows. When you get it as high as you can, hold your breath for 10 seconds or as long as possible. Once the piston reaches the bottom of the spirometer, breathe out slowly through your mouth. Rest for few seconds. Repeat 10 times. Active cycle of breathing technique.
This technique will help to loosen up the secretions and help to remove the secretion from the lungs. Not only removing the secretions, even it will help to improve the ventilation of the lungs, as well as this will help to improve the coughing technique as well. Active cycle of breathing techniques consist of 3 steps. The first step is breathing control. Second step is thoracic expansion exercise. Third step is huffing technique or forced expiratory technique. Then followed by coughing technique to remove the secretion.
Breathing control can also help when one is experiencing shortness of breath, fear, signs of bronchospasm, anxiety, or is in a panic. The length of time spent performing breathing control may vary depending on how breathless the patient feels. Breathing control is used to relax the airways and relieve the symptoms of wheezing and tightness which normally occur after coughing or breathlessness. Patient should start breathe in and out gently through your nose if you can, and place the palm on the abdominal. Should feel the breathing of inspiration and expiration. If you breathe out through your mouth, it's best to use breathing control with pursed lips breathing. Try let go of any tension in your body with each breath out and keep your shoulders relaxed. Gradually try to make the breaths slower. Try closing your eyes to help you to focus on your breathing and to relax. Breathing control should continue until the person feels ready to progress to other stages in the cycle. Try to keep your chest and shoulders relaxed. Take a long, slow and deep breath in through your nose if you can. At the end of the breath in, hold the air in your lungs for 2 to 3 seconds before breathing out. This is known as an inspiratory hold. Breathe out gently and relaxed like a sea. Don't force the air out. Repeat 3 to 5 times. If the patient feels light-headed, then it is important that they revert back to the breathing control phase of the cycle. This helps to move secretions that are lower down in your airways. Take a normal sized breath in and then an active long breath out until your lungs feel quite empty. Imagine you are trying to steam up a mirror. This helps to move secretion in your upper airways. Take a deep breath in and open your mouth wide and puff out quickly. Only perform 1 to 2 puffs together, as repeatedly puffing can make your chest tight. Puffing helps move sputum from the small airways to the larger airways. Before doing a coughing techniques, you need to take a deep breaths, then you need to close your eyes, and then you need to forcibly cough it. Stay active and do gentle exercise. Physical activity benefits both the body and mind. Healthy adults should aim for at least 30 minutes of daily physical activity. Take regular breaks from sitting by standing up and stretching. Going for a quick walk if permitted. Activities like dancing, playing active video games, cleaning the house, or playing with your kids all count as physical activity. Follow an online exercise classes. Healthy eating tips. Every day eat a combination of different foods including whole grains such as wheat, maize and rice. Legumes like lentils and beans, fruit and vegetables. Some foods from animal sources like meat, fish, egg and milk. Eat fresh fruits and vegetables that are in season. Eat a variety of fruit and vegetables. Use less salt during cooking and preparing food and use iodized salt. Sticking to regular meal times and planning meals in advance. This can help us better control hunger levels, meet our nutrient requirements. Staying at home for a longer periods may also lead us to snack out of boredom. Practicing mindful eating can be a useful strategy to maintain a healthy relationship with food. Keep hydrated. Keeping hydrated is essential for overall health. How much water we need depends on our age, sex, weight, height, level of physical activities, and environmental conditions. Taking into account that around 20 to 30% of the water we need comes from our food. If you have access to safe tap water, this is the healthiest and cheapest drink. For a refreshing, you can add slices of lemon, cucumber, mint, or berries. Other drinks such as unsweetened coffee, tea, or iced tea, or unsweetened, infused, or flavored water also a good choice for hydration. Your body needs water or other fluids to work properly and to avoid dehydration. We should drink minimum 6 to 8 glasses of fluid every day to stop us getting dehydrated. Practice safe food hygiene. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap before and after preparing or heating food. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue or your sleeve when you cough or sneeze. Wash fruits and vegetables before eating them. Keep raw and cooked foods separate to avoid harmful microbes from raw foods spreading to ready to eat foods. Make sure to cook and reheat food to adequate temperatures. Get enough quality sleep. Establish a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and getting up at a set times. No alcohol intake and do not smoke. Avoid caffeine before bedtime. Use comfortable, inviting bedding, keeping your room quiet, dark, and at a comfortable temperature. Disconnect from electronics before going to bed.